What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video we are doing the 70th installment of Retro Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing my NG Models 1 to 400 scale ATA Lockheed L-1011 Tristar 500. This is a free model that I got as part of NG's Collector's Reward Plan, or CRP program, the exchange model that they had. The last one in September of 2024 is when I got this. It actually ran in, I think, like August, but it always takes a lot of time for me to get my CRP models because they have like these big delays and not really a whole lot of communication on when they're sending models out to retailers. But that's a topic for another time, and I do talk about it when I unbox this model, so if you want to go check that out, I'll have a card up in the top right corner where you can click on it to see my thoughts on this program. But overall, this model is spectacular and certainly makes up for some of the complaints that I had with this program. But let's take a look at the box. So starting off, we have the Lockheed L-1011 500 logo along with the standard Tristar logo. And then we have the ATA model right here, image of the aircraft, along with a very lovely tropical livery that they used at the time in the early 2000s, right after they rebranded to ATA. Airline logo is down there, and then we have the registration, November 161 Alpha Tango, NG logo, 1 to 400 scale collectible models, die-cast metal. On the bottom, we have the aircraft type, NG logo, image of the plane, and the registration. On this side, aircraft logo, airline logo, NG logo, and 1 to 400 scale collectible models, die-cast metal. And then the other two sides are the same as before. And then there's the back of the box, which is same as the front, but with some legal stuff. And the item number barcode down there, with 35011 being the item number. When I got this model, there was this weird pile of dust just in front of the tail, so I'm not sure what happened there, but it rubbed off, so, you know, it's hard to say, but it was really interesting that that's how it arrived to me, so, you know, not something that I would have expected, even for a free model, but, you know, I still had to pay shipping for it, because that's what these retailers are making collectors do now, is they have to spend a few bucks on shipping, which, you know, it's still better than spending $50 for a model, but when it's kind of been advertised to collectors as a free model, it certainly can feel like a ripoff at times. But again, you can see my thoughts on this program in the unboxing of this model, which I uploaded back in September of last year. But as I said, this is a very lovely model, so I can forgive some of the complaints that I have with this program just because of how good this model is. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Starting off, we have the nose cone, then we have the cockpit windows, little emergency hatch and some pitot tubes right there. Little sticker ahead of the L1 door right there, and then the very big, bold ATA titles. A fleet code on the nose gear door, along with the nose gear itself. A little sloppy there with the hub, but nothing major. Then we have the L2 door, and then there is the very lovely engines right there, the RB211s, a special variant that they had for the Tristars. And then there's a very thin L3 door. Not sure why that door was designed like that, but it is very thin and slender compared to the other doors, like this L4 door. There's a registration, November 161 Alpha Tango, along with the American flag, and then the very lovely tropical ATA tail for the time. And this is the first iteration of this ATA livery. The later one that came about, which is on my 757-300 that I have, I don't think the Tristars got that final livery before they went bankrupt, because they were all gone before 2008. On the right side, not too much to report on here, but there should be some luggage doors as per usual. Very hard to see because of the purple underbelly, but there's one right there. Also an antenna underneath, and there's also one up front, and then a second antenna just ahead of the wings there as well. NG does really good with getting all the antennas on the model, so it definitely makes them look a little better compared to other brands who just simply put the ones on top like Gemini or JC, or even Aero Classics who just go the route of not putting in antennas. So, you know, that certainly sparks a lot of discussion. But on the aircraft, a lot of printed details along with the stand hole. Landing gear and everything look really good. And then the top of the aircraft, a couple printed details and no overwing exits since this doesn't have any, but all the various wing details you could ask for. Very awesome model, and only my second Tristar 500. I have the Gemini United Tristar 500 in my collection as well, which I've also done a retro review on. Now I'm getting to the point where if I refer to another retro model in my collection, I can say, hey, I've done a retro review on it. So I have a whole playlist now of 70 retro reviews, and you can certainly check out that playlist. I'll leave it down in the description if you want to check out other retro reviews that I've done in this series, since I've done a lot. And I'm trying to get more retro models in my collection so I don't run out of retro models that I currently have. So certainly loving to add all the retro models that are coming out from all the manufacturers across this industry. But for now, we'll take a look at the real-life aircraft's history. She first flew on September 25th of 1981, and her first operator was Royal Jordanian in October of that year, registered Juliet Yankee-Alpha Golf Bravo. She was leased to Air Lanka for a few years, between June 1990 and June of 1993, then she went back to Royal Jordanian after. She stayed with them for another 6 years after, and then she went to American Transair, or ATA, in September 1999 and re-registered to November 161 Alpha Tango. American Transair went to the more simpler ATA branding in March of 03, at least per the airfleets.net documentation that I have. She flew with them for 8 years in total with both eras. She was then scrapped in 2009 after having been stored 2 years prior. And that'll do it for this episode of Retro Reviews. With that being said, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.